The world knew him as a hero, a savior. Sung Jin-Woo, the Shadow Monarch, was humanity's shield against the encroaching darkness. But what if the shield shattered? What if the very power that promised salvation instead birthed destruction? This is the story of that fall. A world where hope becomes fear, and the protector, the destroyer. The air crackles with anticipation. The ground trembles. Sung Jin-Woo, cloaked in shadows deeper than night, surveys the world he now claims. His once warm eyes now burn with an icy alien fire. The world trembles no longer in awe, but in terror. Once, Sung Jin-Woo was the weakest, struggling to survive in a world overrun by deadly dungeons. He sacrificed, trained and clawed his way to the pinnacle of power, becoming the Shadow Monarch, vanquishing the monarchs who threatened humanity. He became a symbol of hope. But power, like a venomous serpent, whispers temptations. It preys on insecurities, twisting even the noblest hearts. The world celebrated its champion, unaware of the insidious whispers gnawing at his soul, the whispers of ultimate power, the whispers of a power that could reshape the world. Jin-Woo, scarred by battles and haunted by loss, found himself drawn to the seductive promises of control. The change was subtle at first, a harsher edge to his commands, an unyielding ruthlessness in his actions. The whispers grew louder, fueling his ambition. He who had always protected now craved dominion. The line between hero and tyrant blurred, then vanished. Those closest to him felt the shift first. The warmth in his eyes, once a beacon of hope, turned to a chilling indifference. His actions, once guided by compassion, now reeked of cold calculation. The whispers had become a roar, drowning out the hero he once was. He had become the very thing he swore to destroy. The world watched in horror as its savior transformed into its overlord. The once bright skies now darkened with the shadow of tyranny, casting a pall over every corner of the globe. Hunters, once his comrades, now faced an impossible choice: stand against the might of the Shadow Monarch or kneel before a tyrant. The bonds of friendship and loyalty were tested like never before. From the ashes of despair, resistance sparked. Ordinary people, inspired by tales of old, took up arms and joined the fight, determined to reclaim their world. Led by the strongest S-rank hunters, including the stoic Go-Gun Hee and the unwavering Cha Ha-in, a desperate alliance formed. Their resolve was unbreakable, their strategy meticulous. The world became a battlefield. Every city, every town turned into a war zone, echoing with the sounds of conflict and cries for freedom. Jin-Woo, wielding unimaginable power, crushed all who opposed him. Cities crumbled, heroes fell. The devastation was beyond comprehension. But the resistance clung to a sliver of hope. In the darkest times, even the smallest light can shine the brightest. They had faced impossible odds before. Their past victories fueled their determination, reminding them that the impossible could be achieved. They would do so again, for their fallen comrades, for the memories of those who had sacrificed everything, for the future of their world. United, they stood, ready to face the darkness and fight for a brighter tomorrow. The final confrontation was inevitable, a clash of titans that would decide the fate of the world. The air was thick with tension, and the ground trembled under the weight of their power. Jin-Woo, surrounded by a legion of shadow soldiers, awaited his former allies. His heart pounded, a mix of anticipation and dread coursing through his veins. His gaze fell upon Cha Ha-in, her face etched with pain and betrayal. Memories of their shared past flashed before his eyes, a stark contrast to the present. The sight sparked something within him, a flicker of the hero he once was. He felt a pang of regret, a longing for the days when he fought for justice. But it was too late. The whispers had taken root, twisting his soul. They promised power, but at a cost he hadn't fully understood until now. The battle raged. Blood stained the earth. The cries of the fallen echoed in his ears, a haunting symphony of loss and despair. Each fallen comrade, each plea from Cha Ha-in chipped away at the wall of darkness around Jin-Woo's heart. He felt the weight of his choices bearing down on him. He had won. The world was his. Yet the victory felt hollow, a bitter reminder of what he had sacrificed. But at what cost? As he surveyed the carnage, a chilling realization dawned. The price of power was far greater than he had ever imagined. The whispers had not granted him power. They had taken something far more precious, his humanity. In the end, he was left with nothing but the echoes of his own torment. Defeated and heartbroken, Cha Ha-in collapsed amidst the ruins. The weight of the world seemed to crush her spirit, leaving her in a state of utter despair. Jin-Woo, his victory a hollow triumph, stood before her. The once proud warrior now seemed like a shadow of his former self, burdened by the cost of his actions. His eyes, once filled with warmth, now reflected the abyss that had consumed him. The darkness within him was palpable, a stark contrast to the hero he once was. He reached out, a flicker of regret in his gesture. It was as if he was trying to grasp onto a fragment of his lost humanity, a desperate attempt to find redemption, but before he could touch her, a blinding light erupted from the sky. A portal. The light was so intense it seemed to pierce through the very fabric of reality. From the portal stepped beings of immense power, their eyes filled with ancient wisdom and a chilling judgment. They had been watching, observing the events unfold with a keen interest, waiting for the moment to intervene. Their presence was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a reminder of the greater forces at play. The true battle, it seemed, was about to begin. The air was thick with tension, as if the very world was holding its breath in anticipation. And this time, Sung Jin-Woo was not humanity's champion. He had become something else entirely, a being caught between light and darkness. He was but a pawn in a far grander, far more terrifying game. A game where the stakes were higher than ever before and the outcome uncertain.